Just a short reflection on this fifth Sunday of Lent, focusing on two themes. First, on renewal and restoration, and the second is about mercy and compassion. On the first theme, renewal and restoration, the first reading from Isaiah, we hear the Lord proclaiming a promise of newness to the people of Israel. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? The new thing represents God's promise of restoration. Just as God once led Israel through the Red Sea, God was about to lead the people of Israel back from the Babylonian exile to their homeland. Perhaps this will remind us that God is always at work in our lives, offering us opportunities for transformation and growth in our journey of faith, to trust in His guidance even in our moments of uncertainty. This also imparts the importance of taking time to reflect on life's surprises and challenges and recognizing God's hand in them. The psalm echoes this message of hope and restoration. It speaks of the joy when God turns our sorrow into laughter. What great deeds the Lord worked for us. Indeed, we were glad. This urges us to remember the goodness of God, who brings forth from our struggles and transforms our tears into shouts of joy. In the second reading, St. Paul shares his own journey of faith and renewal. He counts all his accomplishments as loss compared to the surpassing worth of knowing Christ, not just intellectually, but experientially. Now, during this season of Lent, let us evaluate what are the things we cling to that may hinder our relationship with God. Let us take courage to let go and pursue the new things God has in store for us. The second theme that I've mentioned is about mercy and compassion, and the story of the woman caught in adultery and the punishment established by the law of Moses for adultery was death by stoning. And we can read this in the book of Leviticus. But interestingly, the man is absent here, and the law required both parties to be punished. And this is in the book of Deuteronomy. The religious leaders took the woman to Jesus to let him pass judgment upon her. Their real motive is not about justice, but to trap Jesus. If he condones stoning, he risked Roman punishments, since only the Romans had the authority to execute. If he spares her, they can accuse Jesus of breaking the law of Moses. Now Jesus bent down and started writing on the ground with his fingers. There is something marvelously gentle and subtle in the way Jesus dealt with the Pharisees and scribes. He did this in order to give them time to examine their conscience. We witness here the profound mercy of Jesus. He invites them, saying, "Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her." Now this shifts the focus from the woman's guilt to the accuser's own sinfulness. Jesus' words do not nullify the law, but highlights that judgment should come from those who are truly righteous. Then one by one, we heard that the accusers left, indicating the greater self-awareness of one's sinfulness. Now the woman was left alone with Jesus. Jesus shows compassion and mercy by telling the woman, "Go, and from now on, sin no more." Jesus does not excuse her sin, but calls her to repentance and renewal, because renewal involves taking responsibility for our actions and striving to make better choices moving forward. Jesus realized that the woman caught in adultery had already been condemned. What she needed is compassion. He treated her in such a way that she was able to put it behind her and make a new start. In our lives, we stumble many times, but God's love is always ready to forgive and to restore us. Christ is offering us a new beginning and is inviting us to embrace His mercy in this season of Lent. There are a lot of opportunities for all of us to avail of the sacrament of reconciliation, encountering the endless mercy and compassion of the Lord. Perhaps now we could reflect the areas in our lives which need renewal. Do I strive to offer compassion and understanding, or do I quickly condemn or criticize others? It is important to reflect our own flaws before pointing out the faults of others. We are all imperfect and in need of God's grace and mercy. Let us remember, mercy is a pure gift. It is something we all stand in need of, and hence it is something we must be ready to extend to others. We are privileged to have the Pilgrim Virgin statue of Our Lady of Fatima in our parish this weekend. Our Lady's message to the three shepherd children in 1917 is more relevant in our time. She brought a message of hope, an appeal to return to God, and the call to prayer and reparation. May her Immaculate Heart remind us of God's infinite love and mercy and encourage us to trust God's compassion even in times of hardship and difficulties. Jesus, we trust in you.